Now is it me, or does the monorail look a little bit different?
I wonder why that could be.
Look! This one's covered in Finding Nemo-ness.
Curious. You think it has anything to do with...
These massive signs?
Oh yes, it must be because...
They're having a Pixar Fest.
We're back at Disneyland.
Which is decked out in all kinds of funky Pixar glory for the first day of Pixar Fest. Look at all these signs here, the bunting reminiscent of the old Luxo ball, and then look above the gate there, see those flags? Each one represents a different Pixar movie.
Now it's Friday the 13th today, so I thought there would be a Jason Voorhees Fest.
Imagine my surprise at seeing that Pixar has taken over Disneyland.
Oh, and not just Disneyland.
But Disney California Adventure as well.
Where to start? Where to start?
Well, probably best to start with the original.
Walt Disney's original Magic Kingdom.
All decked out in festive bunting.
If you're gonna bunt, do it festively.
Alrighty.
Ooh, it's already getting festive.
Wow, look at all that bunting, and look who's enjoying it.
It's Mickey Mouse.
He's still right up front taking fun pics with everyone.
You would think it would be Woody or Buzz up front, but nobody kicks Mickey off his spot.
As a matter of fact, look at this. We have Cruella de Vil, and over here is Goofy.
Bouncing around, having a good time. Behind him is Chip and Dale.
And there's Donald Duck right there, meeting himself.
Come on, that's cute.
I am pleasantly surprised that the Pixar characters aren't dominating town square.
I need the classic Disney characters to get me started with that Disney feel, but now...
It's time to flip around and enjoy the view of all this Pixar bunting.
Have you ever seen something so exciting, Jimberly?
Bunting flapping in the breeze.
From what I understand, the Pixar parade that used to be at DCA is actually going through Disneyland during this Pixar Fest.
And the Paint the Night parade that was in Disneyland for the 60th anniversary
has come back to DCA. So they pulled the old switcheroo, huh?
How bamboozling!
I am loving this new brickwork on Main Street.
At Disneyland Paris, all of Main Street is paved with brick, and then the sidewalks are not brick. Here it was always the reverse.
But now they've redone the trolley tracks here.
And they're looking pretty nice. Supposedly they're narrower to help, you know, people's feet not to do that in there.
I don't know, I'm walking on it and it's still... Whoa! See?
Wait a minute. What's that sound?
The Dapper Dans.
And they're going full Pixar. Listen.
Very nice.
Alright, and now for the part I was most curious about.
Every time Disneyland does a special event, I always wonder,
what are they gonna do to the castle?
And now I know.
Nothing. They didn't do anything.
Which, just between you and me and several dozen thousand of our friends,
is my favorite thing of all.
Don't get me wrong, Christmas decorations on the castle are cool, Halloween, etc.
But my favorite Disneyland castle is just plain old regular Disneyland castle.
No ketchup, no mustard, no decorations.
Just Disneyland magic.
Not too much Pixar-ness going on so far.
And other than telling me there's going to be Pixar fireworks tonight, the map doesn't do me too much good either.
So it looks like it's time for us to travel around the Magic Kingdom
and see what's going on.
Oh, Adventureland.
I love this place. Well, except for the long Door Whip line.
I even met my future wife here in Adventureland.
How bizarre is that, huh? Well, anyway, it's always been one of my favorite places in the park.
And as far as I can see, it's unfazed by Pixar Fest.
Still looks pretty darn good to me, though, huh? Don't you think?
It's not too crowded over here yet either, which is nice.
So far, that makes this one of the luckiest Friday the 13th ever.
I don't see any Pixars, but I do see a rotten, stinking pirate back there.
Get a job, hippie.
I'm just kidding. I love pirates.
And speaking of pirates, there are quite a few people lined up to get inside of Pirates of the Caribbean. The reason being that it's closing up at the end of the month.
And that old auction off a bride scene is going bye-bye.
Thankfully, I got some pretty darn good footage of that in that 5 weird things in Pirates of the Caribbean video.
So I've got pirates covered. What I need is Pixar.
You guys see any Pixars around here?
So far, nothing. Maybe I'll ask this guy. Excuse me, do you know where I can find any Pixar-related stuff?
Shh, I do, but it's a secret.
Oh, a secret. What's your name, by the way?
Shh, that's a secret too.
Cool. Nice talking to you.
What's this?
It may not be Pixar, but look how cute it is.
is like a hurricane in Duckburg.
Did you see those DuckTales?
Aha, look at this in New Orleans Square, a little Pixar. It's another exclusive popcorn bucket, and this time it's Sully.
That's awesome, and look, even the regular popcorn also has a Pixar themed container.
But other than that, I think that's about it for Pixar in this area.
I've got an idea.
How about good old Frontierland?
Anyone seen Bullseye over here? Or Jesse? Or Woody?
Not in this area of Frontierland.
But maybe, just maybe,
we can find some of our old friends
on the old dusty trail.
Sometimes they have Woody and or Jesse over here.
But not today. Today it's nothing.
No Woody, no Jesse, no Bullseye, but if we stick around long enough, I think we might meet the Australian Dance Spectacular.
Someone's gonna dance the magic.
You know what? It doesn't look like we're gonna see much Pixar in Disneyland at all.
I don't see any Pixar characters in Fantasyland. I don't see any characters anywhere.
Nope, nothing but man-eating whales over here in Fantasyland.
Starting to think I started with the wrong park. Well, we'll head over to DCA.
But you know what? First, I'm feeling a little bit hungry. I think it's about time I found a little lunch.
And you guys know where I love to eat lunch.
In the world of the future.
Good old Tomorrowland.
The home of Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters.
I've always thought that would make a great name for a burrito.
Huh, you'd think they'd have more Pixar Fest stuff going on right out in front of the Pixar themed ride.
Well, as long as I can get some pizza port, I'll be happy. Wait a minute.
What in the claw's name is happening?
Would you look what they've done to the pizza port?
It's been taken over by Pizza Planet.
Oh, there is some Pixar Fest in Disneyland after all.
Ooh, Alien Pizza Planet, a better place. That's where the claw takes you.
See the Pizza Planet symbol on the rocket up there?
Whoa, this is heavy, Doc.
Oh my gosh.
Signage is all different here. Look at this. They have one of the giant robot guards that guards Pizza Planet in the movie.
Look at all the aliens.
Ooh.
It's time for us to enter Pizza Planet.
Whoa, wow.
Look at all the changes.
Gigantic claw machine aliens, a huge Pizza Planet rocket up there.
Dude, this is out of control.
Look at these guys. This is awesome. What a great fit. I especially like these posters that they've replaced all the old attraction posters with on the wall.
Look at these things. Look.
It's like the aliens are tourists on all kinds of other planets.
The claw took them to a better place after all.
Springfield.
Yes, that was the Simpsons reference. And a terrible joke.
Whoa, look what they've done outside.
Not too much other than this. They've covered up the bricks over here with some kind of wrap.
And I'm not talking about the kind that Snoop Dogg is famous for.
Aliens everywhere.
Whoa, look at this. They've even got a Fanta Slurpee machine here. Alien Pizza Planet flavors.
That's cool and a good idea. Why didn't they have that before?
Oh, look at this. You can also get a little green alien straw and backpack clip. Interesting combo.
I'm seeing a lot more Pixar people in here, like this.
Look at this. They've even got Pixar Fest ears. Ooh. Probably so many more Pixar fans in here because you can get these alien parfaits and macarons.
Would you look at the size of that cookie?
Uh-oh. It looks like they've even changed the menu a little bit. I hope my gluten-free pizza's still intact. One gluten-free pizza, please. Oh, no. Looks like my pizza is just fine.
Oh, now that was a tasty pizza. Oh, it's the cops.
Be cool. Ooh, I think we're in the clear now. Alien Pizza Planet. That's awesome.
Finally, a little Pixar at Disneyland.
You know, other than just the popcorn containers.
It makes sense that they would do something over here, not just because of Buzz Lightyear.
But let's not forget that Tomorrowland's also the home of Finding Nemo's Submarinemos. You know what I'm talking about?
Finding Nemo's submarine voyage.
Oh, it's weird. The Finding Nemo monorail's right above it right now. Good timing.
Okay, gonna soak this in just for a second.
And then I think we're ready to head over to the other park.
Time to see what's going on over at DCA, huh? Ooh, another monorail.
All Pixar'd out.
Uh-oh, either all these people have gathered to look at me,
or that Pixar parade is on its way.
I love parades, but the first day of any parade being anywhere for the first time,
it gets a little crowded.
Perfect time to slip out undetected.
Hi.
How you doing?
Don't mind me, everyone. Just on my way to the bathroom. Nothing to see.
Oh my goodness, look at all of these humans.
Whew. No more available seating. Standing room only.
Oh, that's better.
I love Disneyland, but I'm looking forward to having a little more space over here.
Hopefully it'll be a little less crowded in good old
California Adventure. Oh, you know what they should have got for those balloon people?
They should have got a clip in the shape of the up house to hold all the strings for the balloons, right? So there would be like a little house on the bottom? No, is that just me? Okay, never mind.
All right, time for some more Pixar.
You show me where your Pixar, and I'll show you where my Pixar.
Oh boy, I can already see the bunting.
And what's this? It already went up a notch.
Look at these fun pick opportunities. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be a fun one.
What a fun pick.
And look what they've got inside. Pixar Fest merchandise. Pixar Fest hats, Pixar Fest shirts,
And the infamous Pixar Fest claw machine cup.
People online will not stop talking about this cup. And I was kind of getting annoyed, like, come on guys, it's just a cup. You're never going to use the cup. You're going to end up throwing it away in 3 years or putting it in a yard sale. But then I saw the cup and I was like, ooh.
The claw is our master. I'm surprised they didn't have this at the Pizza Port. I mean, the Pizza Planet. I mean, the alien Pizza Planet.
Jeez, pick a name already, guys.
Look at that. They got a Monsters Incorporated Pixar Fest purse. Pixar Fest magnetic puzzle.
Some cards so you can tell your friends all about how you came to Pixar Fest and they didn't.
Pixar antenna toppers. Pixar paraphernalia. Pixar ornaments. Pixar posters.
Literally even Pixar Fest jewelry. How charming. Right? So many little different ones, and there's the main bracelet right there. Pixar Fest.
Ooh, Pixar pouches in assorted shapes and colors.
Pixar mug. Pixar car.
Pixar, there you are.
They even have Pixar pins over here.
I haven't seen an official Pixar Fest set of pins yet, although I'm sure they're here, and I'm sure there's an awfully long line to get at them.
All right, let's see what we can see over here at DCA.
Get out of here, Mickey. We're looking for Pixar.
Just kidding, Mickey. Come back. No, come back. I didn't mean it, Mickey. I'm sorry.
He's gone.
All right, in DCA.
Kind of always a Pixar Fest. They have a lot of Pixar attractions
But
here.
it looks like for Pixar Fest, they're taking it up a notch.
God, chow.
Bugs Land, Cars Land, Performing Army Men.
Toy Story Mania, and soon with the completion of all this, they'll also have Pixar Pier.
Of course, Bugs Land will be going away pretty soon, but with all of this becoming Pixar Pier.
You're still talking about nearly half the park, all Pixar'd out.
Wow, speaking of Pixar Pier, this shop on the pier opposite of the Cove Bar has gone full Pixar.
Look at all the Pixar prints.
More Pixar merchandise.
Pixar socks, pixelated Pixar.
Pixar bucket. I'm starting to think they did all this to sell us stuff.
It's like there's some sort of business or something.
All right, I must admit there's a lot of cool stuff in here. But I've also got to admit that I don't need any of this cool stuff.
I'm gonna keep on looking around outside.
Look at that. There's Pixar Pier in the future. It's gonna be the Incredicoaster, all Incredibles theme.
Kind of surprised they didn't wait for the Pixar Fest until the Incredicoaster was already complete, but oh well.
Ooh, look at that. The popular Cove Bar has been reopened.
Personally, I'm more of a water drinker. There's no line for the water hole, although someone has poisoned the water hole.
So maybe they're the smart ones after all.
All right, speaking of Paradise Pier, I might have found out where there's some Pixar. Way back, all the way back in the back of DCA. Paradise Gardens, AKA the giant food court back here, has apparently gone full Pixar. Oh, there's Jessie. I thought I was gonna find you in the old West. But I didn't, you're over here. I'm glad I found you, Jessie. Where's Woody? Oh, okay. Rounding people up? Okay, gotcha. All right, now we're inside Paradise Gardens here. We've been having the Pixarmonic Orchestra playing out here, using all kinds of weird instruments. There's also a strange 3D
Pogo photo op here for fun pits.
but far and away, the main attraction of this corner of the Pixar Fest.
It's the Pixar Pals meet and greet.
Finally, we can see our pals.
Look at that, it's Flick and Ada.
And the little one's Dot, right? Anyway,
Apparently they're
gonna have different Pixar characters in here, switched out every so often for photo ops. And this week, it's Flick and, you know, her. Not to mention, there's plenty of other crazy characters walking around, and not just Jesse. I also just saw Sully walking around too. Did you know he had the all-time scare record? Kind of a weird corner to shove all this stuff into. I actually almost never come to this part of the park. Ooh, look at this. There's another feature I almost forgot to tell you about. You see that line right there? That is the line for the annual pass holder corner. They're giving away exclusive stickers, probably some buttons eventually, stuff like that. And there's an exclusive AP photo op up against that backdrop of Luxo balls. But since they're changing out the swag every 2 weeks or so, I figure I've got 2 weeks. Don't need to stand in line just yet. I've made it my life's work to avoid every line I could possibly avoid. I haven't avoided many, but I've avoided some. All right, I think that wraps it up for Paradise Gardens. I never know what anyone is talking about when they mention Paradise Gardens. I'm like, oh, that food court area. What? Oh, that was nice to see some Pixar characters at last, though. For a minute, I was getting worried that the Pixar Fest didn't have any. All right, next up. Why not a peek into Imagineering's Blue Sky Cellar, where they show off future projects? Speaking of Paradise Pier, that is where all the stuff in here is related to. Mostly a lot of concept art, but then feast your eyes on this. The gigantic model of the new Pixar Pier. Looks just like this thing called Paradise Pier that I used to go to. But a little tiny bit different. Look at that. The Incredicoaster. Won't it just be incredible to be riding on that? Ooh, look at the upgraded walkways, still with no shade. Blast, that's the one feature I was hoping for. Well, that's about as long as I can stand to look at that stuff. I just get too impatient. Just tell me about it once it's open. I don't want to see scaffolding or bulldozers. All right, let's cut through some of these Pixar lands and see what other kind of fest stuff we can do, huh? Ah, yes, the single most hated land at DCA, which was once the most single hated Disney park. But of course, now that this land is closing, everyone's losing their mind over it. To be fair, there are a lot of people who were tiny little kids when Bugs Land first opened, who've grown up loving this little miniature land. But once you get in, Marvel looms on the horizon. And even the lucky 4-leaf clover over there wasn't enough to save Bugs Land. Which is too bad, because I always had a little special spot in my heart for Bugs Land. Most people hated Bugs Land with their whole heart, but once you have a 2-year-old, this becomes a very happening place to be. All right, Pixar Fest going for a while, so we'll have plenty of time to see anything that I missed today. With this concussion in place still, there's only a certain amount of hours I can really be out of the house and be active. Well, we'll talk more about that in the next video. For now, since the Monsters Incorporated ride line is kind of long, and since I'm not super interested in seeing a short Pixar film, well, they are pretty good movies. Better than that, guys. No, I'm just kidding. I always tease Captain America that way. I think I've done my duty, at least for today. It's time to go home and rest my weary, poor, injured noggin. Thank you guys for watching, and don't worry, we'll be back again at Disneyland and DCA very soon. All right, bye-bye. They have a Mike Wazowski sipper. What I think is dumb about that is it should have been a Mike Wazowski popcorn bucket and a Sully sipper. Yeah. See? Sully sipper! Ooh, over by the Little Mermaid, we have some Zootopia character meet and greets. Not Pixar, but still 3D. And what does it matter, right? Little Mermaid, Mickey Mouse, Zootopia, Inside Out. It's all the same thing, right? Black Panther, Star Wars. We all must be fans of it all. Whoa. Right? We all must be fans of it all. I thought I was gonna find you in the old West.